Hi everybody, my name is Cynthia Danford. I'm on the faculty in the School of Nursing and I'm also a pediatric nurse practitioner. My research involves decreasing obesity risk and its related comorbidities among young children, and that's specifically related to establishing eating, activity, and sleep behaviors using a family-focused perspective. So the problem that we all know about is that obesity is a worldwide problem, and it's been described as a chronic condition. It's a problem that affects not only adults, but also children. Specifically, we're seeing about 9% of our preschool age kids with issues related to overweight and obesity. And that doesn't sound like a lot, but then it increases to about 18% during school age, and further increases to about 21% with our adolescents. Right now topping off at about 37% with adults. So again, definitely a very serious problem that begins early in life and persists throughout later adulthood. And the problem is even worse with our lower income families, which is another population characteristic that I work with. So the bottom line is that we can't begin counteracting this problem soon enough. I think a lot of the interventions that are occurring are with school-age kids, adolescents, and adults. And at that point, a lot of behaviors and habits have already been established. So my mission is to work with families with young children so that we can hopefully establish healthier habits early on. And then hopefully the young children can actually maintain these habits and sustain them into later adulthood. But the big challenge of this work is adherence and sustainability. So the big question is, how do we get long-term buy-in from the families to make behavior changes and decrease obesity risk? How can we get them to be motivated to change, to adhere to the change, and then to maintain that change, and not from an individual perspective, but from a family perspective? So to begin with, there are a few things that we need to know. First, there are many intervention studies out there that help families and individuals establish healthy eating, healthy activity, and even healthy sleep behaviors. But these interventions in that have not been found to be sustainable over time. So in fact, what they're finding is that families can maintain for about 6 to 12 months, but after that length of time, the positive changes begin to slowly dissolve, and then the old habits creep in and return full force. So second, we also know there are a lot of apps out there related to tracking eating behaviors, activity, and sleep behaviors. And these are great for the individual, but they're not always practical for the family. So again, the family perspective here is really important, especially when we're working with our young children. Thirdly, families with young children are constantly juggling busy family schedules and a lot of different family life events that make it challenging for them to maintain healthy eating, activity, or sleep behaviors. So that's another issue that we need to deal with. And again, what seems to be missing in the research and in the literature is a focus on helping families establish a routine or a regular schedule. So that is a routine or regularity related to specifically mealtime, playtime, and pre-sleep behaviors. And that's the direction that my work has moved to. So here's the challenge. What can you do to develop a solution to help our families with young children sustain healthy behaviors that involves establishing and maintaining a routine related to eating, activity, or sleep? The solution needs to include a family focus first. We know that our children are dependent on their parents or other adults, so family focus is definitely needed, or at least a focus with the family and one parent or significant support that lives in the home. Second, we need a way to engage the children, specifically preschool children. And when I'm talking about preschool children, I'm referring to kids that are older than 3 or less than 6 years of age. And then also want to think about what is practical for low-income families. So what is user-friendly for both the children and the parents together. And then lastly, sustainability is really key. How can we help families sustain healthy behaviors relating to eating, activity, and sleep? And that specifically includes mealtime, playtime, and bedtime preparation. So for mealtime, what I'm thinking about is a time to eat together with more than one person in the same room at the same time without any type of TV or screen on in the background, which would allow time for conversation. Family activity is something that should include more than one family member, hopefully the child and another adult in the family, or even another child in the family. And then pre-sleep routine is something that would include just a regular behavior before bedtime, brushing teeth, reading, taking a bath, etc. So the other thing that's important for sustainability is teamwork. Again, how can we engage the preschool children within their family to work as a team? Also, do we need reminders or prompts for the families, reminders throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month? And what would these prompts look like? Do they need to be generic, or do they need to be individually generated? And lastly, is there any type of incentive that is needed? So that's all I had to say for now. I appreciate your help with this, and I look forward to seeing your creativity at work. Thank you.